Good evening, everybody. We are going to be streaming tonight from very chilly DeForest, Wisconsin. It is somewhere around 25 to 30 degrees outside. We are at the outdoor rink at the Legacy20 Arena in DeForest, Wisconsin. The previous game has still got about 3 minutes left in it, but they are on running time. And then there's going to be a ZAM, and then the Roughriders game will start. So likely to be just a little bit after 5 p.m., but we're going to try to get this going. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please like and subscribe to the stream. All right, just a little update for everybody. The previous game has wrapped up. Players are getting off the ice and the Zamboni is getting on the ice. Expecting our game to get going in about 15 minutes or so. Thank you everybody for your patience. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the stream. Looking forward to having a fantastic game tonight. Welcome everybody to a cloudy, rainy, snowy night in Madison, Wisconsin, where we are going to have the first game of the MLK Classic between the Chesterfield Falcons and the Cedar Rapids Roughriders. I believe these two teams played each other in an earlier tournament in St. Louis. So this will be a fun rematch, and we'll get to see how each team looks. The ZAM is finishing up, and then teams will be getting on the ice soon. We're going to switch back to the lobby for just a couple of minutes until the ZAM is done. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Both teams are getting lined up to jump on the ice. It is a very chilly night in Madison, Wisconsin. Apologies if the microphone sounds a little bit muffled, but I am wearing a ski mask because it is bloody cold out here, and everyone's just going to have to deal with it. Zamboni is just coming off, but we're going to try to catch both teams coming on the ice. Chesterfield is coming out wearing their white jerseys, while your Rough Riders are going to be coming out in their blacks. Starting goalie for the Rough Riders today is going to be Jackson Baker, number 89, wearing his black and white pads, blocker and catcher, with his all-white helmet. Officials have gone onto the ice, and warm-ups will be starting here shortly. Hopefully we're going to get some lights here soon, as it is getting very dusk time out here. I'm imagining it's going to be hard for the players to see on the ice. And there the lights are. Got a roar from the crowd as one light is on, and the rink staff is coming around to turn on the other three sets of lights. Referees look like they are just about ready, but they may be trying to wait until the rink lights are on. This will be the first game with the new coaching staff with the Rough Riders Black team. And we are excited to see how the team looks in this very interesting and festive day. Rough Riders have taken the ice. We've got 3 of the 4 sets of lights on. Got a little bit of snow coming down now, so what's a little bit of outdoor hockey without having a bit of snow and other weather? All the lights are now on, and warm-ups have not officially started yet, but both teams are on the ice skating around, so I imagine that clock is going to be getting started soon. Going to have our standard 3-minute warm-up period here for both teams. Both teams look like they are prepared for the weather, as I see a lot of ski masks on. So hopefully the kids are going to be able to handle this weather well. I have a feeling we're not going to be running a clock for warm-up. So at some point, the officials will just decide that we are all done and we're going to get this game started. Setup of the camera is a little bit limited due to where there's power. So apologies for the not great view, but we're going to make the best of it. This is also going to be the first game where I'm going to be doing both play-by-play and camera solo. So apologies if there are some issues during the game. All right, we have less than a minute to go in the warm-up period here as the clock just got started. And we'll see what the new coaching staff does with the lineup tonight. We still have Coach Jack on the bench, but some new faces on there of Derek and Troy. Everyone looks all nice, warm, and cozy. And we will get to see how this team looks now. Last year at about this time, most of these kids were playing in Chicago when it was a feels like temperature of about -15. This game is much warmer, but we're hoping for a similar result to that game, as from my memory, the Rough Riders were victorious in that game. Looks like we're going to be doing 12-minute stop clock periods here. The Chesterfield goalie comes out, and he's got some black pads with a white blocker and catcher with an all-white helmet except for a red stripe, it looks like. All right, Rough Riders are coming out with Baker in net. Looks like we've got Wyatt on a wing, Kettleson in the middle, and Ellis on the other wing, along with what looks like Maverick and Liam on D. Face off won by Chesterfield, dumped into the zone. Maverick Tries to chip it back up. Puck gets sent up to Wyatt on the wing. Pass over to Ellis. Tries to pass it back across, but intercepted by Chesterfield. Chesterfield has it behind the net. Wyatt's able to steal it. Jack trying to make some moves in the middle, but stolen by Chesterfield. Missed pass, but tipped. Maverick's going to be first on it in the corner. Goal, Chesterfield. As the puck somehow got into the front of the net area, and Baker wasn't able to snag it. So it is now 1-0 Chesterfield. Second line coming out of Corbin, centering Hunt and Flynn. Looks like we have Iris and Gavin on D. Face-off is controlled by Cedar Rapids. Pass goes to a Chesterfield defender. Into the zone, but offside. Wind is picking up a little bit. Face-off controlled by Chesterfield, skating it into the zone. Shot goes off of Baker. And Roughriders are able to get it out to Flynn Hansen. Flynn gets it across to Jackson Hunt. Weak shot on net, steered sideways by the goalie. Gets up past the winger and shot back in by Gavin Sebring. Jackson Hunt has it down in the corner, in the side. Pass out by Flynn off of the goalie's pads. Really nice setup there. Iris gets it, dumps it back in. Blocked in front. And out of the zone, and we have an offside. Ensuing faceoff is knocked into the Chesterfield zone. Chesterfield gets control of it, dumps it back across to Breck Johnson. Breck swings it over to DJ Elliott. DJ tries to get it out to George Lanyo on the wing. Pass goes up to Jackson Jerv. Puck's stuck in the corner a little bit. Chesterfield's able to bring it out and dump it into the zone. Looks like we're going to have our first icing here. Play comes back down to the Rough Riders offensive zone. This third line is Clara Domke centering Jackson Jerv, George Lanyo with David Elliott and Breck Johnson on the D. Puck comes up to DJ, tries to put it back into the middle off of George's stick to a Chesterfield player. Pass comes across to the other side, Chesterfield bringing it into the zone. DJ Elliott able to grab the puck, gets it over to the side, but doesn't quite get it out of the zone, and finally does. Not enough for an icing, so Chesterfield goes back to touch up, and looks like we are going to have our first penalty of the game. Chesterfield guilty of hooking. Face off won by the Rough Riders. Shot goes in, stopped by the goalie, swung out, and Maverick is going to be fast enough to negate the icing. Pass comes up, but it off track, and it's up in Chesterfield's hands. Puck back to Cedar Rapids into the zone with Jack Kettleson. Shot comes in, and goal! Goal, Jack Kettleson with a wicked wrister from the side. Power play goal for your Rough Riders. It is now 1-1. 8 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first period. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. Swung into the zone. Onto Gavin Sebring's stick. Tried to pass it across to Iris, but it goes to a Chesterfield player, and Iris unfortunately takes down the Chesterfield player, so there is going to be a power play to Chesterfield. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by the Roughriders behind the net. On to Chesterfield, shot blocked into Gavin Sebring's paws. Tries to skate it up the zone, but ends up getting knocked back in for an offside. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield, bringing it back into the zone. Knocked off of their stick. Cedar Rapids pops it into their own bench. And we have another faceoff coming. Full line change coming. So we have Clara, George, DJ, and Breck out there. Faceoff is one back to DJ, gets it out of the zone, past a Chesterfield defender. Clara with a great looking forecheck. DJ able to keep it into the zone momentarily. Clara with a block, getting it deeper into the zone. George putting on the forecheck. Puck comes back up. DJ pinches down, able to keep it for just a moment, and then knocked out to Breck Johnson. Breck looking for somewhere to go, passes it up. Doesn't quite find Clara's stick. Chesterfield back on it. Dumped into the zone and knocked back out. DJ comes across and knocks the puck off of a Chesterfield player's stick. A pass comes across to Clara, but doesn't quite connect. Puck back in, over to DJ. DJ to Breck. Breck sends it up to George. It's skating around in the middle of the ice. Dumps it in for a line change on this penalty kill. Jack Kettleson now in on the forecheck. Trips over himself a little bit. Penalty now over. Puck coming in deep. Little miscommunication there. Chesterfield's able to get it first. Ellis with the puck, skates around the first defender, and then trips a little bit, but then Jackson Jerf able to grab it, shoots, misses the side of the net. Jack Kettleson able to retrieve, sends it back up to Ellis, but then knocked off of a stick. Chesterfield dumps it in deep. Gavin Sebring with the puck, skating it around, tries to pass it up to Ellis off of his stick. Not quite out of the zone. Roughriders able to grab it again. Another pass trying to get out, but doesn't quite make it there. Now it does. We've got Wyamonte coming up, but he puts himself offside with a back pass. Offside here, 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Looks like we're doing running clock at the moment. Either that or the clock keeper just forgot to hit it. Controlled by Chesterfield into the defensive zone for the Roughriders. Puck in the middle. Now to Jackson Hunt. Jackson gets it out of the zone. Chesterfield's going to win the race to the puck, though. Iris comes up, tries to knock it off of a stick, but it ends up staying on a Chesterfield stick. Puck comes into Jackson Baker, and a save and a little commotion in front of the net. 1-1 here, 5 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first period. Definitely turning into a snow globe out here. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. Shot comes in off of Baker's glove into the corner. Saved by Baker. We're going to get another faceoff. Unfortunately, from my vantage point, that corner is incredibly hard to see. So apologies for not providing better play-by-play on it. Ensuing faceoff is to DJ, flings it down the ice, and it's going to turn into an icing. So we're going to go down. We're going to try it all over again. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by Jackson Baker, and we're going to get yet another faceoff. Got a full line change from everybody. And faceoff goes to the middle. Big save by Baker on a shot from the slot. Wind almost knocked the camera over here. Puck still in the Roughriders defensive zone. Gavin Sebring able to get it and start bringing it up. Gavin's got some good speed going. Got person in the middle. Shot comes in. Saved and stoppage. Good looking rush from your Roughriders there. Faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. Coming out of the zone. Pass tried to go across. Looked like he missed everybody. On to Ellis's stick. Ellis tries to pass it up to Jack, just a little bit too far in front of him. Jack's able to get it, though. Gets control of it. Shot missed the net, coming around the wing. And can't tell who got it, but they knocked it back deeper. Ellis trying to stick handle towards the middle. Able to get around a couple people. Shot across. Controlled by Chesterfield. Up to the point. Iris is able to keep it in. Pass goes across. Right to a Chesterfield player, though. Chesterfield able to get it out. Over to Maverick. Maverick hits it into the middle, right onto a Chesterfield player's stick. Chesterfield bringing it into the zone. Big save from Jackson Baker. Pass up for Jackson Hunt, but doesn't quite get there. Pass comes back across. Corbin with the steal, but then stolen off of his stick. Jackson Hunt racing for the puck is not quite going to get there, but he's able to get a touch on it and knocks it down into the zone. Not deep enough for icing. Jackson Hunt and Flynn both forechecking hard. Puck goes up to Iris. And offside. 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the first period here of a very tightly contested game between the Chesterfield Falcons and your Cedar Rapids Roughriders. It has turned into a snow globe out here with a moderate amount of snow coming down. Faceoff is controlled by Cedar Rapids, got it into the zone. Shot goes in, saved by the goalie. Faceoff coming to the glove side of the Chesterfield goalie. Faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. They break it out to the wing. Breck Johnson on the case. Shot goes behind the net to DJ Elliott. DJ with the puck. Passes it up to Jackson Hunt. Jackson doesn't handle it cleanly, and Chesterfield is able to regain control. Shot goes on net with a save from Baker. Apologies, we've been at full strength for a while now. I just forgot to take the penalty down. So scorebug is now accurate. Faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. Knocked off of their stick momentarily to a Cedar Rapids defender. Passed it up to the wing. George Lanio tries to get it out of the zone, but doesn't quite get there. Shot comes in, but off to the side. Play is congested on a side of the ice that is hard to see. Puck behind the net now. Chesterfield forechecking very well, steals it, and saved by Baker. Face-off controlled by Chesterfield, knocked off of a stick to the side. Wyatt tries to flick it up to Jack Kettleson, but not able to control it. Now they are. Got a little bit of a 2-on-1 developing here. Pass behind Ellis, though. And now dumped into the zone. No icing called. Cedar Rapids has behind the net. Starting off a breakout. Pass up off of Jackson Hunt's stick. Trying it again. Pass goes through everybody this time and will be icing. Under a minute remaining in the first period here. Face off to the stick side of the Cedar Rapids goaltender. Face off is up to the point. Chesterfield able to get it. Shot goes off the post. Not in, though. Puck goes behind the net. Cedar Rapids first on it, trying to get it out of the zone, but having a little bit of difficulty. Now a shot goes in the middle, but goes behind the net again. Puck still behind the net. Tries to get it up, but doesn't quite get all the way out. Shot goes all the way through, doesn't hit anything. Puck controlled along the side by Chesterfield. Another shot comes in, big save. We'll scrum in the side there. 2-1, end of the period. That is your first period. We are in our first intermission here. It is 1-1, Chesterfield and Cedar Rapids. Very solid period from both teams. Shots are 12 for Chesterfield, 7 for your Cedar Rapids Roughriders. Very entertaining period of hockey to watch, especially with the snow globe effect that has decided to join us. Unfortunately, due to being outside, we got no music, so it's a little bit dry standing here and watching the teams talk, but we're going to endeavor for this to be a better period. For Cedar Rapids, I would say we need to get those passes connecting that are just a little bit off and be able to get some zone time here. Teams are switching sides. And as soon as Mr. Baker takes his net, we will be ready for the second period. Domke line is out along with Iris and Sebring. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield, bringing it into the zone. Shot goes behind the net. Clara Domke able to grab it, tries to get it out of the zone on an empty wing. Dumped back in by Chesterfield. Gavin Sebring's got it behind the net. Looking for someone to pass it to, but no one available. Big save by Baker, kicking it to the corner. Gavin wrestling with it on that side, trying to get it. Pass into the middle, off of Iris's stick, now off of Iris's foot to George. George passes it off to somewhat of an empty wing himself. Clara with the puck, but knocked off of her stick. Chesterfield back into the zone. Clara now back with it, looking for somewhere to go with it. Only finds a bunch of Chesterfield players. Puck up to Jackson Jerv. And I guess didn't quite get into the zone. Otherwise, that would have been an offside. And now we get the offside. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. Puck comes up to Ellis, though. Ellis tries to skate it around the side. Stuck in the corner a little bit. Puck comes around, back up to the point. Breck able to touch it. Dumped back in by Jack Kettleson. Ellis coming on the forecheck. Puck comes around. Jack's on the other side now, trying to stop it. Puck ended up getting past DJ and out of the zone. Breck Johnson had a little trouble with it. And a shot comes off of Baker's pad. Breck gets it around the first player. Wyatt tries to get it around a second, but it gets stuck against the wall. Puck is kind of stuck up against the boards. Chesterfield gets it, shot on net. DJ gets it and takes it behind the net. But with all the snow, having a little bit of trouble hanging on to it. Up to Ellis, off of his stick. DJ back, trying to get it. DJ able to skate it up himself. Puck comes all the way back for a breakaway and saved by Baker. Big save. I'm going to imagine that all of this snow on the ice is going to make things really, really interesting. Ensuing faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield up to the point, dropped back down low. Big save by Baker. Tries to, now it's passed back up to the point. Shot comes in, saved again. On his pad, still loose. Off to the corner, big play. Off to Jackson Hunt. Now dumped further into the zone. Cedar Rapids able to keep it in. Up, but called offside, I guess. All right, face-off is dumped in by George to Chesterfield. Chesterfield brings it up the wing. Clara Domke able to knock it off of a stick, but then knocked off of her stick to Iris. Up to a Chesterfield player. Dumped back into her. Tries to go up the same side, but no joy there. Puck dumped into the corner. Gavin Sebring first on it. Able to get it to Jackson Turf, but he has a little bit of trouble around the boards. Onto a Chesterfield player. Shot comes in off of a post to the other side. George Lanio going to be first on it. Had a little bit of trouble with the snow. Tries to get it cleared out. Shot comes in, blocked by Clara. Another shot comes in, taken by George. Tries to pass it across. Doesn't quite find any six though. Clara might get there first. Controlled by Chesterfield though. Clara though able to cause some trouble and clean up the play. Puck in the middle. George got a stick tied up. Puck back to Gavin Sebring. Passed up back around. Oh, just offside. Looked like a really good play starting there, but that pesky blue line, which is getting harder and harder to see, was not where some of the players expected. 1-1 game here, 7 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the second period. Face-off is controlled by Cedar Rapids. Puck dumped in a little bit by Jack Kettleson. Kind of stuck on the corner there, over to Breck Johnson. Breck passes it back to DJ, but missed a little bit. Tried to pass it up to Ellis. And puck got in deeper with Jack. Jack Kettleson with the puck. Or that was Ellis with the puck. Shot comes in. Goal, Cedar Rapids! Not sure who got it. Looks like it might be Wyatt. Wyatt gets the goal. Cedar Rapids has their first lead of the day. 2-1 Roughriders. Ensuing faceoff controlled by Chesterfield. Brought over to Breck Johnson's stick. Breck tried to get it up, but now it is up on Corbin's stick. Corbin going wide with it. Knocked off of his stick, though. Flynn tries to get it a little bit deeper. Breck able to hit it to the middle. DJ with the puck tries to take a long shot, but doesn't hit it quite on net. Looks like DJ was able to keep it in once. Oh, knocked off of a stick. Breck Johnson able to knock it deeper. Play kind of caught up in there. Not sure who has it. Looks like it's Breck. Had his stick knocked out of his hand. Puck decided to come right back to him. Shot comes in. And back out to the corner. Flynn Hansen with it. Knocked off of his stick. Jackson Hunt on the forecheck. Pass came to DJ, but wasn't quite able to get it. And puck is somewhere around the boards. Flynn racing over to it. wasn't quite able to get it. Frank Johnson able to get it this time, though. Tries a pass, but misses everybody. Chesterfield's going to get there first. Looks like we're going to have a penalty coming. Not sure who it's going to be to. Penalty to Jackson Hunt, it looks like. Chesterfield going on the power play. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield, up to the point. Shot comes in. Stuck in front of the net. And able to be knocked out of the zone. Big opportunity here for Maverick. Able to knock it forward onto his own stick. Now onto Clara's. Chesterfield was able to regain control. And more people are having trouble staying on their feet. Shot comes in, saved by Baker. And goal, Chesterfield. Cedar Rapids having a hard time keeping the puck on their stick, and Chesterfield able to take advantage. It is now 2-2 with 4:53 remaining in the second period. Jackson Hunt comes out of the box. And it is very clear to see that there is a large collection of snow on the ice now. Going to be very difficult to handle the puck. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield. Jack Kettleson able to get control of it. Tries to pass it over to Ellis, but not able to control the bouncing puck. Dumped in deeper. Kettleson able to get there, but not control it. Chesterfield trying to skate it out of the zone. Now with Chesterfield getting it into the zone. Shot comes in. Saved by Baker and frozen. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second period of a 2-2 game. Face-off is controlled by Cedar Rapids. Jackson Hunt with the puck. Skates it down, but ends up losing it. Puck comes up to DJ. DJ gets contacted a little bit. Corbin gets it in deep. Puck comes over to Breck Johnson. Breck tries to handle it a little bit, passes it over to Flynn Hansen. Flynn tries to dump it in. It's a Chesterfield player. Back out to Breck. Off of DJ's stick, back to Jackson Hunt. And offside. Face-off is knocked back into the Cedar Rapids zone. Pass up onto Jackson Jerv. Jackson Jerv skating it in. And now puck to Maverick. Maverick blocked shot. And puck coming out. Got a foot race coming. Shot comes in off of Baker into the corner. Liam Smith trying to help out. Puck comes across. Maverick's going to be first on it if he hurries. Puck off of the boards and out. Puck getting lost in the snow some, getting very hard to see it. Shot comes in off of a foot. Jackson's Earth with it, tries to pass it up and across. Back into the zone with an offside. 2.5 minutes remaining in the second period here. Faceoff is controlled by Chesterfield. Chesterfield gets it deep into the zone. Gavin Sebring going to be first on it. Puck around to Iris if she hurries. Puck stuck against the wall a little bit. Jack Kettleson comes out with it, able to get around one person. Got a 3-on-1 developing, but puck got lost in the snow a little bit. And comes around. Chesterfield going to be first on it, tries to get it out. Iris able to keep it in momentarily. Now back on Gavin Sebring's stick. Gavin tries to dump it back in. And it looks like it maybe went off of a Cedar Rapids player. And faceoff is going to be in the neutral zone. Faceoff controlled by Chesterfield. Shot comes in wide of the net. Gavin Sebring first on it. Tries to pass it up to Ellis. Ellis passes it up to Jack Kettleson. Jack shielding it well, shoots and score! Jack Kettleson gets the goal. It is now 3-2 Rough Riders. 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining in the second period. Nice looking rush, ended up in a goal for your Rough Riders. During practices the last couple of weeks, the teams have been working very hard on their rushes, and it's very good to see them turning into some goals in this game. Faceoff is controlled by Cedar Rapids. Jackson Hunt with the puck. Ends up falling down. But Chesterfield gets control of it. Corbin skating it back in. Fighting the snow a little bit. Able to get by. And shot off of the post. Not quite in. DJ steps up. Able to keep the puck down low. DJ with the puck still. Trying to get it out front. Puck comes back around. Not quite sure what's happening as it's in this corner that it is very, very hard to see. Cedar Rapids set up well. Oh, rebound comes just quite where Flynn wasn't. Pass comes back across. And the snow is definitely affecting the speed of passes, as passes will have to be very, very hard to be able to get through the snow that has been collecting on the ice. Pass comes up, but intercepted by Breck Johnson. And offside. Actually, end of the period. My mistake. We are in our second intermission. It is 3-2 Rough Riders. There is a lot of snow collecting on the ice as you look in front of the crease. It is piling up very, very heavily. Teams are going to have to be very, very careful with the puck here, as it is getting very hard to make passes that go all the way down the ice. 1 period of 12 minutes remaining. It is a 3-2 game. Your Rough Riders are currently leading. Cedar Rapids has well too many players on the ice. And looks like we're all set now. Going into our third period face-off. It is not yet controlled fully. Pass comes across to DJ. DJ brings it up to Jackson Jerf, but he misses the pass. Was kind of a high bouncer, not the easiest to collect. Pass up to George, bounced over to Jackson Jerf, but the snow definitely affecting things. DJ tries to get it a little bit further, but loses his feet as the ice is absolutely snow covered right now. Puck comes up to Clara, gets it into the zone, and tried to bounce it out onto Brett, now across to George. George still has the puck, throws it back across. DJ comes in, not able to control it though. Puck comes back across to Breck. Breck bounces it up to Clara. Gonna try again. As George is able to get it deep and rings it around the roulette wheel, but it gets stopped below the goal line. Puck stuck in some feet. DJ with it. Shot comes in and saved. Shot from DJ helped to blitz it along by Jackson Jerf. Ends up as a shot on net. Saved by the goalie for Chesterfield. The teams are really doing a fantastic job fighting the elements here. Face off is controlled by Cedar Rapids. Tried to get it into the middle. Doesn't quite hit a black stick. Puck gets dumped in by Chesterfield. Does not quite go far enough for icing. Baker with a big save. Puck's behind the net. Still behind the net. And rung up. And now Cedar Rapids skating it up. Wyatt with the puck. Shoots it in off the side of the net. Collected here. Wyatt's trying to figure out what to do with it. Shot by Kettleson. Ends up off of the goalie's mask. Ellis tries to bring it back in. But the snow is really making things a mess right now. Liam trying to defend a 2-on-run rush himself, but the snow interfered with things, and now we're going to get a penalty called with a hook. Or interference. Really take your pick there. Chesterfield goalie's trying to dig himself out of the crease as there is quite the wall that is developing due to all of the snow that has fallen in the past hour. Face off, hit to the side. And now dumped into the corner. Flint Hansen on the forecheck. Jackson Hunt able to get it, tries to pass it up to Sebring. Sebring dumps it into the corner. Coming up the roulette wheel. Hunt trying to stop it. Now back down low. Now back up high. Jackson Hunt back with it. Tries to get it through a couple people, but puck gets lost in the snow. Pass comes across. Lost in the snow again. Flynn able to wedge a player off, but gets back to just a Chesterfield player. Puck in the wing. Tries to get it flung across. Stopped by the snow, though. And it is frozen. Looking at the ice, this snow is getting incredibly ridiculous. It would be great to have some shovelers out here to clear off some of this extra snow that is developed, but this is just youth hockey, so no dice there. Face-off is controlled by Cedar Rapids for a second, and then lost in the snow, and Chesterfield coming back. Puck goes behind the net. And I have no idea what's going on there, as I cannot see anybody or the puck. Got dumped down into the defensive or the offensive zone. And now there's a 3-on-2 developing that DJ was able to force offside. Not sure how the referees saw that because it looked like the puck was in a big basket of snow on the ice. So good luck telling where anything is. All the lines themselves are becoming very hard to see on the ice. 7.5 minutes remaining in the third period of a 3-2 game. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield, dumped into the zone. Chesterfield throws it into the corner. Pass comes up. And behind the net. Maverick tried to skate it out, but didn't end up getting anywhere due to all that snow. And so we've got a face-off coming to the side. 7 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the third period here. Cedar Rapids clinging to a 3-2 lead in a very, very snow globe type game. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield. Shot on net ends up being saved by Jackson Baker. Ensuing face-off is definitely controlled by Chesterfield. Chesterfield pops it around, or Cedar Rapids defense pops it around the boards, and now it is stuck on those boards that we just can't see through. Liam brings it around to Maverick. Maverick tries to skate up with it, but it gets lost in the snow. Jack Kettleson able to find the puck, but knocked off of his stick and then dumped to the middle and dumped back into the zone. Maverick going to be first on, or Liam going to be first on it. Rings it around to Maverick. Wyatt able to get it out of the zone, but not yet very deep. Now knocked back in further. And stuck in the snow. Wyatt throws it up, trying to get it to Corbin, but doesn't quite get to him. Offside. 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in this very, very snowy third period. There is quite a pile of snow on the ice here. Very hard to see what's going on, so we'll do the best that we can. Face-off is controlled by Cedar Rapids. Stuck along the wall, though. You can see as the players swing their sticks, all of the snow that is Popping up. Dumped a little bit further. Puck now in deep. Flynn Hansen on the forecheck. Chesterfield trying to bring it around. Off of some feet. Into the middle of the ice. Jackson Hunt trying to get it deeper. Puck picked off by, I believe it is Corbin. Got it into the zone. Puck now in deep. Players trying to get it out of the snow. Back to DJ. Clara now with the puck. 4 minutes remaining.
Here they go.
Puck's just absolutely dying on the ice. And offside. 3.5 minutes remaining in this snow globe of a game that we have here. Ice is very hard to carry the puck at all because there is getting probably near to about a half an inch of snow on there. Face-off controlled by Chesterfield. And swung to the wing, but I'm not sure where it is. Puck comes up, but not all the way to George. Jackson Zerf tries to get it in further, but it gets stuck in the snow. And we're going to have a penalty. YouTube. All right, so Roughriders have a kill here with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Puck comes back up to the point and offside. 2.5 minutes remaining in the third period here. Your Roughriders clinging to a 3-2 lead with Liam in the box. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield. Dumped into the zone. Gavin Sebring with the puck. Knocked off of his stick behind the net. Pumped around to Flynn. Flynn tries to get it out, but it finds a Chesterfield stick off of Baker and a shot. And looks like we're going to have another penalty getting called as DJ got hauled down from behind. It is now going to be 4-on-4 for the next part of the game. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third period. We have a snow globe out here in a 3-2 game. Face-off is controlled by Chesterfield. DJ not able to grab it, but it absolutely died by the bench area. Chesterfield able to get it, knocked off of a stick, and there is a big wave of snow whenever players are trying to do anything with it. Corbin now racing for the puck. Not likely going to get to an icing. And DJ is going to get a penalty here for hooking himself. 1 minute remaining. We're going to be going right back to a 4-on-4. Empty net for Chesterfield here, going to be a 5-on-4. Face-off is controlled back behind the net. Puck rung around and then dumped back down low. And saved by Baker. 1 second remaining in the Chesterfield penalty, and then it will be a 6-on-4. 42.7 seconds remaining in the third period here. Got some slow line changes coming. Face off is 1-2 Chesterfield. Gavin Sebring tries to get it out of the zone, able to get it just about halfway. Baker with a save. Everyone tries to get it out of the zone, but due to all this snow, it is not happening. Puck stuck behind the net still. Big save by Baker and a freeze. 13.1 seconds remaining in the third period here. It is now a Chesterfield power play. All right, little misdrop on the faceoff, so we're going to get to do it again. 13 seconds still remaining in this third period of a very, very exciting game. Very, very festive, as it is snowing like the dickens. Faceoff is knocked back to the corner. Bounced off the boards. Up to the point. Blocked by Cedar Rapids. Gotten out of the zone. It is a Cedar Rapids victory. Your second victory of the season for your Roughriders. Way to go, team. Way to start off this tournament. It is a 3-2 win for your Roughriders. I would love to stay longer, but the weather out here is hazardous to electronics health. So we are going to sign off for tonight. Thank you, everybody that joined us. We will see you tomorrow morning.